relation between molarity and normality. If you are having acids, let us say HCl we are having, it's a monobasic acid. So when it is a monobasic acid, there is no much difference because molarity and normality are same for monobasics. And H2SO4 we are having, it's a dibasic acid. When it is a dibasic acid, if it is molarity is 1, then its normality is 2. Or if it is 0.1, it will be 0.2. That means molarity into basicity is normality. Molarity into basicity is normality for acids. Molarity into acidity is equal to normality for bases. This is for acids. This is for bases. And if you want to calculate for the salts or oxidizing agent, reducing agent, for all of them, you can use the simple line number of electrons involved is equal to normality. Otherwise, molarity into charge of cation or anion is equal to normality. Total charge you need to take. For example, aluminum sulfate is there. 2 aluminum charge you need to take. Total cation's charge or total anion's charge. Okay, don't take overall charge, that will be 0 always. So this is the relation between molarity and normality. One typical example, generally students get confusion. H3PO4, H3PO3, H3PO2. It's a tribasic acid, it's a dibasic acid, it's a monobasic acid. If you are given 0.1 molar, it is 0.3 normal, it is 0.2 normal, it's going to be 0.1 normal only. How? Why? Because it's a tribasic acid. How can you say? By the structure. It can form 3 salts, P double bond O. There is one direct pH bond, remaining 2 OH groups, dibasic acids. Here only one OH group, remaining 2 are hydrogens. Monobasic, dibasic and tribasic. Then equivalent masses I want to explain. Few lines will take. Equivalent mass is equals to molecular mass by valency factor, you can say. What is valence factor and all? For example, acids if you want to take. Equivalent mass is equals to molecular mass by acids na basicity. HCl 36.5 by 1. H2SO4 98 by 2. HNO3 63 by 1. Like this. If it is bases, equivalent mass is equals to molecular mass by acidity. Then salts, equivalent mass is equal to molecular mass by, or use a formula mass. Salts purpose you have to use formula mass. It's okay, molecular mass divided by charge of cation or anion, any one only, charge of either cation or anion. And oxidizing agents and reducing agents. Then equivalent mass is equals to molecular mass by number of electrons involved. By using this, you can calculate the equivalent masses. From that, you can calculate the normalities. 2 more important terms. One is molality. Molality is temperature independent, given by small m. Moles per kg are the units. Number of moles by mass of solvent in kg. Molality is equals to number of moles by mass of solvent in kg. Units moles per kg. Temperature independent, that's most important point. Next one is mole fraction, given by chi. Chi is equal to number of moles of one component by total number of moles. It is also temperature independent. It is also not depending on temperature, temperature independent. There are some shortcuts for molality or conversions from molality to molarity, but better is go with the regular one. Okay, don't try to depend on those, and if you are forgetting the formula again, you will be getting confusion. Better you calculate normally, it won't take much time also. Now coming to the 4 important colligative properties. Colligative properties means the properties which depend on only the number of solute particles, only on the number of solute particles. P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute. This is called Raoult's law. P naught minus Ps by P naught is equals to mole fraction of solute, Raoult's law. In place of mole fraction of solute, you can write number of moles of 1 by total number of moles. All those formula you can use. And the general formula what we use is PS9 is equal to mole fraction of solute number of N1 plus N2. If this is going to be a very dilute solution means N1 is very less when compared to N2. So N1 by N2 you can write P0 minus Ps by P0 is equal to N1 by N2. In place of N1 we can write weight by molecular weight. In place of N2 again we can write weight by molecular weight. So overall you can write W by small m solute weight by molecular weight into molecular weight by weight. This is applicable for very dilute solutions only. If it is not very dilute solution, instead of this you use your PS only. P0 minus Ps by Ps is equals to weight by molecular weight into molecular weight by weight. This is for any. But for very dilute solutions you can use your P0. But most of the times we are going to use this one because our topic is dilute solutions. P0 minus Ps by P0 is equals to weight by molecular weight into molecular weight by weight. This is first one. Relative lowering of vapor pressure, RLVP. Second is elevation in boiling point. Delta TB is equal to Kb into M, where M is molality, Kb is molar elevation constant. You can call ebullioscopic constant. Delta TB, how much of boiling point it is increased. Depression in freezing point. Delta TF is equal to Kf into M. Remember the Kb, Kf values for water, it will be better. Kb is 0.52, Kf is 1.86 Kelvin kilogram per mole. Okay. Delta TB is equal to Kb into M, delta TF is equal to Kf into M, and osmotic pressure OP pi is equal to CRT. I am just explaining the formula only, which formula you need to remember. RLVP, P0 minus Ps by P0 is equals to mole fraction of solute, elevation boiling point, delta TB is equal to Kb into M, delta TF is equal to Kf into M, pi is equal to CRT. If that is undergoing any kind of dissociation or association, then we need to multiply all these with the Van 't Hoff factor I. P0 minus Ps by P0 is equal to Van 't Hoff factor into mole fraction of solute. So we have to multiply everything with I. What is I? I is Van 't Hoff factor. How to find I value? For that purpose we have two formula. I minus 1 by n minus 1 for dissociation cases, where alpha is degree of dissociation, I minus 1 by n minus 1. And in association case, alpha is equal to 1 minus I by 1 minus 1 by n. This is for all association cases. If no dissociation, no association, I value is 1. If any associations or dissociations are there, I value may be less than 1 or greater than 1. In all such kind of cases, we need to calculate by using alpha is equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. Alpha is equal to 1 minus I by 1 minus 1 by n. Then I value you need to put here and you need to get. These are the important colligative properties. Along with these colligative properties, in this lesson, we have one more topic. That is ideal solutions, non-ideal solution. Ideal solution. Okay. And a non-ideal solution. Ideal solution means P naught P is equals to P naught A XA plus P naught B XB. When you are mixing both of them, it is following as it is Raoult's law. This is called Raoult's law, and Raoult's law is completely followed. P is equal to P naught A XA plus P naught B XB. Non-ideal solutions means they do not follow Raoult's law. Raoult's law is not followed. Then when Raoult's law is not followed, things will go wrong. Here, positive deviation is possible from Raoult's law. Negative deviation is also possible. Positive deviation as well as negative deviation. What is positive deviation? Here P is greater than P naught A XA plus P naught B XB. Here P is less than P naught A XA, P naught B XB. Ideal solution. Ideal solution means delta H mixing is 0. Means when A and B, so liquids when you are adding, nothing will happen. Okay, no energy changes will be there. Here delta H mixing is positive deviation, positive. Delta H mixing is negative. Means this is going to be exothermic, this is going to be endothermic. Here no possibility. But actually there are no complete ideal solutions. There are few, they can function like. Delta V mixing is also 0. Here delta V mixing is again positive. That means if you are taking 20 ml, 20 ml, you are getting your 40 ml. Here it will be 41 like that. Here it will be 39 like that. Delta V mixing is going to be negative. In this case, the AA attractive forces, BB attractive forces and AB attractive forces are going to be same. That's why that's ideal solution. Here positive deviation means AA attractive forces and BB attractive forces, when you compare with AB attractive forces, the AA and BB attractive forces are going to be more. In this case reverse, AB attractive forces are going to be more than AA and BB attractive forces. When more attractive forces are there, they are coming close. When they are coming close, then obviously energy will be released, volume will be decreasing and easily not moving into the vapor, so the pressure is also less. Ideal solutions, non-ideal solutions. And one other point you can take here, that is here no special, but here one positive deviation is there, it forms low boiling azeotrope. What is azeotrope? Azeotrope is a constant boiling mixture with low boiling points. It is high boiling constant, high boiling azeotrope. Generally here benzene, toluene, hexane, heptane type of compounds will be there, ethyl chloride, ethyl bromide. Examples, they should look like same. Benzene, toluene, heptane, hexane, such kind of compounds are good examples for ideal solution. Positive deviation means already some extra attraction should be there, and because of addition of other one, the attraction should break. Okay, so for example, if you are adding acetone to alcohol, alcohol is already having hydrogen bond, but when acetone is coming, those hydrogen bonds are going to break. When the hydrogen bonds are breaking, it is going little away. That's why delta V mixing is positive. Because of breaking, for the breaking of extra hydrogen bonds, it needs some energy. That's why delta H mixing is going to be positive, endothermic. And in this case, for example, acetone and chloroform, if you take, between acetone and chloroform, already there is no hydrogen bond. There is no hydrogen bond, any of them. But when you are going to take them together, CH3, C double bond O, CH3 acetone, it is going to form hydrogen bond with chloroform. This hydrogen bond is not there in acetone or in chloroform, but when they are coming close, extra hydrogen bond is formed. Because of such hydrogen bonds, they are going to be close. That is the negative deviation from Raoult's law. Negative deviation, positive deviation, and no deviation. One more line we'll discuss and we'll conclude this topic. and that is P is equals to KH into X, which we call Henry's law. Generally, no numericals will be asked in entrance examinations, your board examinations or your assignments. You may see some questions. P is pressure, KH is Henry's constant. It is not constant. It is depending on the particular solvent and all, even temperature also. X is mole fraction. So, for example, this is a liquid. Into this liquid, whatever the gas you want to dissolve in this, the solubility of this gas in this particular liquid is depending on the pressure. The solubility we are saying in terms of X, that is mole fraction. That means solubility of the gas depending on the pressure. If more pressure you are going to apply, more solubility will be there. For that purpose, you can use this one. So these are the important formulae related to solutions and colligative properties. If you remember all these formulae, definitely you are going to answer the question coming from this in entrance examinations.